Hello YouTube, it's Lane here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we are doing another light novel review. Now, today we are going to be covering The Rising of the Shield Hero Volume 4. This is written by Aneko Usagi and published by One Piece Books, as you guys can see right there. The demographic here is seinen, and the genres are isekai, dark fantasy. Adaptations-wise, this is still covered in the first season of the anime, and I think the second season is going to come out soon, which would cover volumes 6 through 10 if the first season is anything to go by, since it covers the first 5 volumes. And yeah, the premise here is basically following the end of the third wave, I think, and the introduction of glass and all of these potential people from another world. Now Fumi and the girls, including Melty, are on the run trying to get to another country before the heroes catch them, basically. And now Fumi and crew meet a potential ally in Victoria, which is a older Filolio queen, and they finally get to meet Melty's mom, the queen of Melromark. And, you know, there's a bit of a culminating action here with the Church of the Three Heroes that was introduced last volume. So, yeah, the plotline here is not bad. It finalizes the points from meeting Glass, and it kind of, like, sets up the next thing. It kind of feels like the end of an arc. This book, it kind of, like, finishes the whole, like, okay, now Fumi is getting mistreated by everyone, and it kind of sets up a new kind of focus for the story. There's a lot of focus in this book specifically about the Church of the Three Heroes and how that kind of tainted everyone against Naofumi, because he was seen as the devil according to the religious doctrine and dogma of this church. And I was actually quite a big fan of the heroes finally getting what they deserve for being so fucking idiotic, because they're seriously, like, really, really dumb, and it's so annoying. And I was actually quite happy with the end of the book as well, because, you know, Mine and the king also get what they had coming to them. And it introduces the queen, which is probably the best female character so far up to book 4, because she's the only adult female character that is not repulsive. So there you go. Waifu her up, I guess. Now, the key plot points here in this story really are just, like, on the run, and then they have to meet the Victoria after they have to, like, they end up in this place, like this old town that they visited before, and then this, like, noble kind of captures them, and then they run away, they fight this dinosaur dragon thing, Vittorio shows up, and then they, you know, plot happens, and a lot of explanations and world building, kind of like setting up where the story goes from there. And then there's this big battle with the church, with the really evil looking priest over here. And, you know, it was really good. The action was really nice. It was very crisp. There was a lot of good stuff here. There's a lot of, like, motion in this story. It was actually quite good. And the fact that the heroes were mostly out of the picture was pretty great. I do really enjoy when we are just following Naofumi and the girls. It's just when the heroes are introduced, it's when I start to really dislike the series. But, you know, overall the plotline was really good. I did really enjoy it. And it was nice. Characters-wise, though, same stuff as usual. Naofumi is basically a dad, and he doesn't understand that Rafaelia kind of, like, likes him as a, you know, romantic interest. And, you know, shit heroes being shit heroes. And then we get Victoria, which is kind of a mad character. Like, she's very middle of the road. Like, she's interesting because she's an ancient being, but she's still limited to, like, what her people are like. And Filolios are short-memoried. Like, they don't remember things very far behind. She does because she's a queen, but not exactly. A lot of things are forgotten. And we don't really understand her motivations and why she does the things she does. that well. Like, I mean, she does say, hero raised me and I have to do this for that hero, but the fact that she kind of forgot quite a few things is kind of like unreliable, and so she's not very interesting in the sense of like, oh, okay, this is gonna be the person that ends up saving us if, you know, the heroes will end up sucking. It's more like, this is really concerning that this animal with like human level intelligence but not human level memories and like abilities has this much power. And so it was kind of a bit like interesting but not interesting, and I was always bouncing back between the two. So I just settled on giving her like an average middle of the road score in terms of like character. And yeah, the queen of Melromark, I can't remember her name, but she's top tier. Her design is great. Her like character design is great. The way that she's so like good, but she's also kind of like slightly evil when she's angry is great. And yeah, she's a badass waifu for sure. Quite like her a lot. And yeah, I mean, there's not really that much to say in terms of characters. I did like that the heroes, being shit that they are, finally actually kind of like realized, oh man, maybe Naofumi isn't like bad, because I don't know, they just kind of realized like, okay, maybe we were wrong, and we can think about it and kind of figure out stuff and kind of do our own thinking for once, which I really liked. But you know, they still got what they deserved, and I'm okay with that. Okay, now world building wise, interesting stuff. The fact that, you know, there's another Philolio queen, and that what's it called? Philo is actually kind of the heiress to the Philolio kingdom, basically, is pretty interesting. There's a whole kind of like development of that mystery there, of the fact that Philo is a Philolio queen, and what the heck does that mean. We got a lot of stuff from that sort of thing explained to us, which is really great. I did really like that. I was happy to learn a lot about this stuff. And then we have some new foreshadowing stuff for things to come, which was pretty good, because it, you know, as you keep reading, it immediately comes up again in the next couple volumes, so that's pretty nice. And then we got some new magic. Okay, what I was talking about is like the ritual magic that they do for like the judgment attack, which is really cool. I didn't know that that was a thing. And then they also kind of introduced this concept that's similar to unison raids from Fairy Tail, which is like two people synchronize their emotions and their breathing, and then they develop a kind of connection, and so they can use two skills at the same time, which is really cool. That was very interesting. And, you know, a lot of good religious-based stuff. Like, I'm not a religious person, but in fiction is actually very interesting. And I quite enjoy talking about religion in, like, fictional settings, or more like reading about religion in fictional settings, because it's very interesting, and it, like, provides a lot of reasons for why these medieval people do certain things. So it was really cool. I did really enjoy it. And it was, like, interesting, and it kind of was finally like, okay, these people aren't just assholes and like shitty and don't investigate. It's like there's an actual reason why everyone was bad to Naofumi. Maybe the reason isn't great, but there is a reason, right? So I quite like that. So overall, the book itself, like the plotline, the characters, and the world building were pretty solid. I can't really complain about it. The art, though, as always, it's freaking awesome. I love it. It's so nice. I really enjoy how crisp and how well detailed it is, and how like impactful it feels. Like, it's just really, really nice. I just love the art so much. Fan service wise, obviously there's been none so far, and honestly I just don't think that there's gonna be much going on for most of the story, because there's no proper like adult female characters, or like, you know, anyone that wasn't a lolly three volumes ago that you like fan service can happen with. Rating wise, I want to give it a 4, just for the payback and the comeuppance that, you know, mine and the King of Melromark got in this volume. But, you know, it's not that good, so I'm just not going to give it a 4. It's a solid 3.5 out of 5. It's like slowly climbing up to that 4 marking, but it's still very like, okay, this is a middle of the road book. There's some issues with it. The writing is very repetitive, and it actually feels like it's being written for children, like a chapter book, which is kind of annoying. And the structure of how it's written sometimes is kind of bad, and the fact that, you know, there's so many different types of typos and grammatical issues all throughout the book is really annoying. So there you go. Do I recommend this title? Yeah, I mean, Shield Hero is a good story. It's just like, it has small problems here and there that are like usually easy to overcome as long as you like focus on the story and like the character development more than like the way through you read it, which is what I do. Like, I don't focus on the typos and grammar issues because it's annoying to like get taken out of it. So I just continue to read and try my best to not get like frustrated by it. And that allows me to enjoy the story quite a lot. So there you go. Similar titles though, in terms of leveling, Danmachi is probably a good one. But I don't know what else I recommended last time. I think I recommended Overlord, which is kind of similar, not necessarily though. And that's basically it. Just Danmachi and Overlord are kind of similar here. But yeah, because I haven't read any of the ones with the really edgy main characters like Ari Ferretta. So there you go. That's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Thank you guys very much for watching once again, and see you guys later.